Welcome back. 7 games tonight in the National Hockey League. Not bad for a Tuesday. Tomorrow we have 5, and then on Thursday we have 10. It's honestly not, considering it's November, it's kind of weird that it's not more busy than what it is. But let us go ahead and jump right in with Ottawa and Toronto. And is this the surprise of the night? It's close, isn't it? If it's not, it's close. So it's Ullmark versus Stolarz. And at 41 seconds, on their first shot, Ottawa scores. It's Norris from Giroux and Zub. It was a 4-on-2 off of a turnover. Not a great start for Toronto. The Leafs press to respond, but the shots are 4-2 Ottawa at 4.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Sens. That's killed off. 3 shots. And I also want to mention, I thought Kenzie Lalonde did a good job doing the play-by-play tonight for Ottawa. So Leafs press at 9 minutes. They don't get shots out of it. Batherson's denied as the Sens press. The shots are up to 12-2 for Ottawa with 9.5 minutes left. The Leafs draw a power play. It's a good one, but it's killed off by Ullmark. 5 shots on that power play. Press by the Leafs with 5.5 minutes left. Stützle with a near miss on a rebound. The Sens press with 3 minutes left with 2:07 left. The Leafs get a power play. That, of course, is killed off. It's 1-0 Ottawa after 1. Second period, Tkachuk has a wrister that's caught and held. The Sens press at 1.5 minutes. And then Stützle on a wrister from the slot and a nice pass by Batherson to set it up. He scores. Chabot with the other assist at 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Nylander then has a chance that's caught and held. And then at 3:55 on a rush, Amadio buries one. Zub with the assist on that. So Artyom Zub with a couple of assists tonight. It's 3-0 for Ottawa. Shots are 7 apiece at 7 minutes. Stützle has a rush chance that's held. The Leafs press with 7.5 minutes left. With 3:31 left, the Sens draw a power play. That lasts 38 seconds before it becomes 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off. The Sens press late. They had lots of chances. Stolarz honestly had a pretty good game. It's just he had no goal support. It's 3-0 Ottawa after 2. Third period, the shots are only 1 apiece at 3 minutes. The Leafs press at 4 minutes. Toronto ends up getting a power play. That's killed off. Shots are 4-2 for the Leafs with 9 minutes left. So Ottawa doing a very good job of keeping Toronto away from their net. Pinto and OEL were unfriendly, so we get 4-on-4 out of that. And there's just not much room in the third period for Toronto. Sens doing a very good job of defending. There's an early goalie pull because they're down by 3. Timmins has a shot that's held as the Leafs are pressuring. And then with 1:28 left, they have to put the goaltender back in as the Sens draw a power play, which ends the game. It's a 3-0 win. The Tony the Tiger Magnets on the board. Ottawa 8-7, one of the most unpredictable teams in the league. Toronto 9-6-2 with the loss. Shots on net, 17-9 Ottawa in the first, 18-9 Ottawa in the second, and then 9-6 Toronto in the third. Final shots 41-27 Ottawa. Power plays, Ottawa 0 for 3, Toronto 0 for 4. Both teams had 25 hits. Ullmark, 27 saves for his 9th career shutout, his first as a member of Ottawa. I was surprised he's only got 9 as well. Stolarz, 38 saves on 41 shots. Again, he allowed a goal in the first shot, but it was a 4-on-2. And, a wrister from the slot and then a rush chance. It's one of those nights. Toronto just could not solve the goaltender at the other end of the ice. All right, next up, Winnipeg and the Rangers. And this felt like a big deal because it was. It's Hellebuck versus Shesterkin, and Winnipeg scores on their first shot. It's Scheifele from Morrissey at 57 seconds. He buries that one from the slot. 1-0 Winnipeg. Shots are 3 apiece at 3 minutes. Velarde has a rush chance that saved. The teams exchange turnovers. We get a power play for the Rangers. That's killed off. Jets have a 3-on-2 that fizzles out. Then there's a press by Winnipeg with 9 minutes left. But Cooley would tie the game. He scores from Schneider and Hedel at 13:07. He buries a rebound and close. It's a 1-1 tie. Jets look to respond. Iafallo's denied there. We then get a power play for Winnipeg. There's a shorthanded chance for Fox that gets held. The Rangers do kill that off. There's a near miss for Lafreniere in the final 30 seconds. It's 1-1 after 1. Second period, Connor has a rush chance that's held. The Jets press at 2.5 minutes. In fact, the shots are 3-2 Winnipeg at 4 minutes. Panarin's denied on a 4-on-2 rush. The Jets press at 6 minutes. We get a power play for Winnipeg. There's a shorthanded slapper by Riley Smith that's saved. And then, just on amazing passing and close, Shesterkin didn't have a chance. Velarde scores the power play marker from Ehlers and Pionk at 8:58. It's 2-1 Winnipeg. Fleury then has a shot that's held as the Jets press for more, but we get a power play for the Rangers, and they score on it. Both of these teams very good power plays. Lafreniere puts one past a screen into the net. Fox and Panarin with the assists at 12:51. The game's 2-2. The Jets press with 5 minutes left, and at 16:03 on a rush, Kyle Connor scores. Pionk with the assist there. So Pionk with a couple of helpers tonight, actually a few. And it is 3-2 in favor of Winnipeg. 3:08 left. The Rangers get a power play. That's killed off. Things are then pushy on a hold by Hellebuck. It is 3-2 after 2 in favor of the Winnipeg Jets. So third period, any thought of a comeback kind of takes a hit early. A good forecheck and then a tic-tac-toe play. Winnipeg scores another. It's Scheifele from DeMello and Connor at 1:07. But the Rangers do answer pretty quickly thereafter. Kakko buries a rebound in close. Cooley and Schneider with the assists at 1:40. And there was some discussion about whether or not he pushed the pad, whether or not they could have challenged for goalie interference. They decided not to. Probably the right call to decide not to challenge that. I think it probably would have stood. The Rangers press for the tie, but the shots are 4-3 Winnipeg at 8 minutes. Zibanejad has a rush chance that's held. And then at 13:08, Nemesnikov scores from Ehlers. So there's that depth scoring again for Winnipeg. We get a power play for the Rangers. That's killed off. They would pull the goaltender, looking to get closer. And Kyle Connor from his own zone hits the empty net at 19:37. Sandberg and Pionk with the assists. Winnipeg wins 6-3. They're 15-1 to start the season. The Rangers 9-4-1 with the loss. The next test for Winnipeg is in Tampa on Thursday. Shots on net, 12-10 Rangers in the first, 16-11 Rangers in the second, 12-8 Winnipeg in the third. Final shots 36-33 in favor of the Rangers. Power plays, Winnipeg 1 for 2. So that power play that earlier today was talking about, it's got to come down sometime. It actually went up. 1 for 4 for the Rangers on the power play. The hits 21-13 Rangers. Hellebuck, another good start. 33 saves on 36 shots. Shesterkin, 27 saves on 32 shots. All right, next up, New Jersey. Now, what's interesting is that, and I, didn't think about this when I was doing the preview the other day, but New Jersey plays again in Florida on Thursday. So we're going to get a rematch, which doesn't happen very often. I wish the NHL would schedule this more often. I think it makes for a great amount of drama with that second game. So it's Markstrom versus Knight. The early jump was for the Devils. Forsling has a one-timer that's held. The shots on net are 4-0 Florida at 3 minutes. So the Devils had some zone time. They just couldn't hit the net. Glove save then on Samoskevich. Good back-checking by Florida. And then at 8 minutes and 30 seconds, it's New Jersey that scores first. Jack Hughes on a tip from in close. Bratton Hamilton with the assists. And it was kind of against the flow of play, but then the Devils press for another. Noshek is denied in close. We get a delay game call. The Devils get a power play out of that. That was killed off. That's 22 kills on the last 25 chances that the Florida Panthers have faced. And it was the only power play New Jersey had tonight. And Heischer has a rush chance that's held. The shots are 11-4 Panthers with 7 minutes left. The fans call one. The referee does not. The Devils press, but they take an offensive zone penalty with 2:44 left. And then it becomes 1:05 of 5-on-3. So the Devils, they do their best to kill that 5-on-3 to the point where to start the second period, there's only 11 seconds left in the 5-on-4 for the Florida Panthers. So they do finish the kill. Barkov's denied during an early press. The shots are 3-0 Florida at 3 minutes. So in both the first and second period, Florida really good out of the gate. Markstrom tested, and Markstrom was very good tonight. Probably his best game playing for the Devils so far. Then there's a post for Ekblad from the slot. The Devils press at 6.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Panthers, and they score on it. It's a point shot tipped in by Reinhardt at 8:41, so he ties Caulfield for the goals lead with 12. Balinskis and Barkov with the assists, so that ties the game at 1. And then not long after, Dylan has a fight with Gadjevich, where Gadjevich landed about 868 punches in a minute. It was bonkers. The shots are 7-1 Florida at 9.5 minutes. Mercer's robbed on a breakaway, so Knight was kept alert by that. Panthers press with 6.5 minutes left. The Devils then get some pressure with 3 minutes left, and then on a fast break, they score. Meyer from Mercer at 17:29. That makes it 2-1 for New Jersey. That's your score after 2. Third period, the Panthers had the only shot on net 3 minutes in. Samoskevich has a rush that's defended. Strong forechecking by Florida. Florida played a pretty good game tonight. They just didn't get the bounces. Neither team's getting to the net at this point. The Panthers press at 9.5 minutes. Palat's denied, and then the Panthers rush the other way. Again, the fans call one. The referee does not. I did not hear a ref you suck chant, though. Then there's some brawling after a Markstrom hold. We end up with 4-on-4 there. I guess they didn't throw enough punches to qualify as a fight. The Panthers press with 6 minutes left, but at 15:07, Cotter roofs one from the left circle. Heischer and Hamilton with the assists, and that just pulls the crowd right out of the game. That's where the crowd gets really quiet. Goalie pull happens with 3 minutes left, and at 18:58, Palat hits the empty net from Bratt. And your final score in this one's 4-1. Yeah, New Jersey goes to 11-6-2 with a big victory. Florida 11-4-1. Their winning streak ends at 7 games. Shots on net 14-6 Florida in the first, 8 apiece in the second, 13-10 Florida in the third. Final shots are 35-24 for the Panthers. Power plays, New Jersey 0-1, Florida 1-3. The hits 36-25 for Florida. So they out-hit him, they outshot him. But Markstrom saved 34 out of 35, and Spencer Knight 20 saves on 23 shots at the other end. But entertaining game? Yeah, entertaining game. At playoff feel, a little bit, sure. All right, Boston and St. Louis. And I was like, well, St. Louis needs a win. All right, and then, well, now they really need a win. So it's Swayman versus Binnington. There's an early press by Boston. The teams exchange rushes. We get a power play for the Bruins. Pasternak's denied. The rebounds cleared. St. Louis kills off that penalty. 3 shots on net for Boston. Bruins go back to the power play. St. Louis kills that one off too, and a much better penalty kill. They only allowed 1 shot that second time around. The shots are 6-3 for Boston with 9 minutes left. Not a surprise, since 4 of those minutes in that first period had been spent killing penalties for St. Louis. Shen to Joseph, that gets picked off. The Bruins press with 5.5 minutes left. Then the Blues get a power play, so the Bruins kill that off as well. They allow 1 shot during that. It's 0-0 after the first. Second period, the Bruins draw a power play. That's killed off. Joseph has a rush chance. That's held. 4 minutes in, the shots are already 6-2 for Boston. We get a power play for St. Louis, and they score on it. I believe this is their first power play goal at home, and I mean this season. Shen from Kyrou and Buchnevich at 9:24. Shen buries a rebound in close. The Blues then go back to the power play, and they score again. This is the first game this season where they have scored multiple power play goals in that same game. This time it's a tic-tac-toe play early in the power play. Sundqvist gets it from Holloway and Saad at 12-12. So it's 2-0 for St. Louis. And again, I figured, they're at home. They really need this victory. Crowd's really into it now. Just not Boston's night. I had no idea what was coming. So the Bruins then get a turn. That power play's killed off. So they were 0-4 to that point in the game. And that was their last power play of the game as well. Boston presses after it ends. They get some more pressure with 2.5 minutes left. But it's 2-0 St. Louis after 2. Third period, there's an early press by the Blues. Suter to Kyrou. That pass gets blocked at the net. The Bruins get pinned down. There's a near miss for Kyrou. And if St. Louis had scored that third goal, we might be having a different conversation. Teams exchange rushes. And then on a 2-on-1 rush, Geekie wires one. Pastrnak with the assist at 4:53. Now 9 minutes in, the shots are 3 apiece. It's still a 2-1 lead. But McAvoy scores at 9:15 from Marchand and Brazo. And now the Bruins have some confidence. They're pressing for the lead on that very next shift. Buchnevich then has a net feed. That's picked off. The Bruins press with 7.5 minutes left. The shots are 6-5 for St. Louis with 5 minutes left. Falk has a shot that's held as the Blues press. Marchand's then denied in close, and then it's a game winner. Pastrnak, a one-timer from the left circle. That's his first goal in, I think, 8 games. McAvoy and Zacha with the assists at 18-14. That's also only his second even-strength goal this season. So this is something Pasta needed. So the Blues pull the goalie on the face-off win. They are unable to generate the tying goal. Boston, with the shocking comeback victory, they win 3-2. They go to 8-7-2 on the season. St. Louis 7-9 on the season with that loss, and that one hurts. Shots on net, 9-6 Boston in the first, 10-8 Boston in the second, 11-8 Boston in the third. They outshoot the Blues 30-22 in this one. Power plays, Boston 0-4, St. Louis 2-3. So it was 5-on-5 play that hurt St. Louis tonight. Hits 29-17 Boston. Swayman, decent night, not busy. 20 saves on 22 shots. Binnington, 27 saves on 30 shots. And now I need to change boards. So what's funny is that first board, every road team wins. Second board, home teams win. Weird. So this one, Islanders and Oilers. And the team that wears orange and blue did in fact win tonight. So it's Sorokin versus Skinner in this one. The Oilers press at 2.5 minutes. Shots are 3-1 for the Oilers at 3.5 minutes. Edmonton, they press at 7 minutes. They end up getting a power play. Bouchard has a shot that's saved. Rebounds cleared. There's a shorthanded chance for Kyle McLean. That's saved. And they kill that power play off. The Islanders then press with 5.5 minutes left. Draisaitl fires one high on a net drive. The Oilers press with 3 minutes left. And with 2:41 left, there's too many Oilers on the ice, so the Islanders with a power play. Nelson has a shot that's caught and held. That power play's killed off. McDavid's robbed in the closing seconds. With 0.9 seconds left in the period, the Oilers go to the power play. So that rolls over into the second period. No score. And in the second period, we do get a score pretty quickly. 34 seconds in, Draisaitl goes short side from a sharp angle, just off Sorokin's shoulder into the net. McDavid and Bouchard with the assists. We then get a power play for the Islanders. That's killed off. 4 minutes into the period, the only shot on net for either team is the goal by Draisaitl. Siplikov has a rush chance. That's held. We get a post for McDavid on a net drive. The Oilers press at 9 minutes. The Islanders press back with 9.5 minutes left. And at 15:57, Palmieri buries a one-timer from the left circle. Siplikov and Nelson with the assists. The game's tied at 1 after 2. Third period. Hyman hits a post. There was just crazy action by the Oilers in that first minute. And then Bouchard goes glove side just over the pad. Ekholm and McDavid with the assists at 57 seconds. The Oilers press at 3.5 minutes. The shots are only 2-0 Oilers at 4 minutes, but they were in total control. Bouchard's denied on a rush. The Oilers press at 8.5 minutes, and eventually on a turnover, McDavid scores from Nugent Hopkins at 10:19. The Islanders wanted a call there. They felt that McDavid got away with a trip. The goal counts. The Oilers press for another, but at 12:54, Lee scores short side from Pulock and Pajot. And then at 17:20, after the goalie pull had taken place, Lee scores from Pajot and Palmieri, burying that one in close. So Anders Lee with a couple of goals ties the game up at 3. We're going to overtime. In the overtime, the Islanders 3-3 this season. The Oilers 2-1. The Oilers control early. Bouchard is denied from the slot. Then there's a kick save on Hyman. And then Draisaitl roofs one from in close to win the game. McDavid and Bouchard with the assists at 1:52. So for McDavid, he was in on every goal tonight. So 4 points for McDavid tonight. Don't rule him out for the scoring race because it's McDavid. I don't care how far back he is. So the Oilers win 4-3 in overtime. He sees it as a challenge. The Oilers are 8-7-1 on the season. They're above NHL 500, and the Islanders 6-6-4. They're collecting overtime loss points. It feels like last year. Shots on net, 13-6 Edmonton in the first, 10 apiece in the second, 15-6 Edmonton in the third, and they had all 4 shots of the overtime, including the one that matters. Final shots, 42-22 for the Oilers. Power plays, Islanders 0-2. Edmonton 1-2. The hits 15-7 for the Islanders. Sorokin saves 38 out of 42. Skinner, not as busy, 19 saves on 22 shots. All right, I had to head off. I don't know if you saw, but Azrael and Bear don't necessarily get along, so I don't need that in the background of a video. All right, Calgary and Vancouver. So Vancouver played their road game at home tonight. I really thought they did, and this is what they're going to have to do if they want to win. They got to work for it. It's Vladar versus Lankinen. There's an early press by the Canucks. More pressure by Vancouver, 2.5 minutes. But they're not getting a lot of shots on net. The shots actually favor Calgary, 4-3 at 4 minutes. And then the Flames get some pressure at 5 minutes. Lomberg has a shot that's held as the Flames are pushing to get on the board first. Weegar has a sharp angle shot that's held. Sherwood has a rush chance this blocker to side. The Canucks press with 7 minutes left. Things are pushy then on a hold by Vladar. We get a pad save on DeBrusk from the slot. The shots are 11-7 for Vancouver with 4 minutes left. There's a post for Soucy late in that period. The rebound gets held, and then the Flames score first. Vancouver's allowed the first goal in the last 8 games they've played. No difference here. Kirkland buries a rebound on a rush. Rooney and Lomberg with the assists at 19 minutes. It's 1-0 Calgary after 1. Second period, there's a full Canucks power play to start that second period, and they score on it. So similar to this game over here, and at 23 seconds, Pettersson tips one in close. Miller and Hughes with the assist. Pettersson had a really good game tonight, so if you want to jump back on that bandwagon, there's room. The Canucks press at 2 minutes, and eventually they score again. Suter from Miller and Brandstrom at 2:37. Suter with a nice wrister from the slot, just flat out beats Vladar. The Canucks look for another. In fact, the shots are 6-0 Vancouver 4 minutes in. Pospisil fires one wide on a rush. The Canucks then have a penalty that wipes out a goal, and rightfully so. You have to call that. It was a slash that broke the stick in front of the net. Definitely would have A, distracted the goaltender, B, makes it more difficult for a defenseman without a stick. So then there's a shorthanded rush by Pettersson. The fans call one. The referee doesn't during that power play. Power play still killed off anyways. Heinen has a rush out of the box that's defended. He doesn't quite get to the net. Canucks then get a power play. That leads to a shorthanded chance for Rooney that's saved. That power play gets killed off. With 5.5 minutes left, the shots are 12-5 for Vancouver. Things then get pushy on a hole by Lankinen. The Canucks press with 2 minutes left, and there's some pushy and punchy going on at the horn. That's fine. Boys will be boys. It's 2-1 Vancouver after 2. Third period, Kadri has a rush chance. That's held. Pettersson has a net drive chance. That's saved, and I think he had his best game tonight, at least of this season. Flames are getting chances, but Lankinen was pretty sharp. In fact, 3 minutes in, the shots are 4-1 for the Flames. But Brandstrom has a point shot that goes past a screen. He scores from Pettersson and DeBrusk at 6:19, so Pettersson with a goal and an assist tonight. Vancouver's up 3-1. And then the Canucks look for another. Miller to Lekkerimäki. There's a near miss there. And I thought Lekkerimäki did pretty good tonight. I did. Didn't hurt them at all, and I thought he had some chances. And if he stays on the lineup for a bit, we could see a goal or two from him. Flames draw a power play. That's killed off. The shots are 8-4 Calgary with 7.5 minutes left. The Flames press with 6.5 minutes left. We get a power play for Vancouver. That's killed off, but takes 2 minutes off the clock. Canucks press after it ends. The goalie pull happens with 2.5 minutes left. It does not succeed. Vancouver holds on and wins 3-1. They go to 8-3-3 with the win. They get their second home win, finally. Calgary 8-6-3 with the loss. Shots on net, 12-9 Vancouver in the first, 14-7 Vancouver in the second, 12-6 Calgary in the third. Final shots 32-28 for the Canucks. The power plays become an issue for Calgary. They were 0 for 2 tonight. They've been struggling for weeks. Vancouver goes 1 for 3. The hits, 19-13 Vancouver. Vladar had a good night, 29 saves on 32 shots. Lankinen bounces back from a rough night against Edmonton to save 27 out of 28 against Calgary, and that's how you bounce back. All right, last game of the night, Columbus and Seattle. This was a tale of 2 games, and I'm not sure what happened to Columbus here. I know this is where their road trip's coming to an end, which is probably for the best. So it's Merzlikins versus Decord. Columbus presses at a minute and a half. In fact, there's 5 Columbus shots in the first 2 minutes and nothing for Seattle. Strong forechecking by Columbus. Columbus with some pressure 6.5 minutes in. McCann has a net drive that's defended. Columbus is getting lots of zone time. Like, this is one of those periods where you're like, hey, the Zamboni only needs to worry about one end of the ice. Don't worry about the other. Wright couldn't bury one in close as Seattle finally gets some pressure. The shots are 12-2 for Columbus with 9 minutes left, and eventually they're going to go in. Corrali tips one in after a turnover. Aston Reese and LeBanc with the assist at 13:46. And 22 seconds later at 14:08, Aston Reese scores from Corrali and LeBanc. So this is where you call a timeout if you're Seattle, because that's unacceptable. So that's exactly what they do. Seattle presses with 5 minutes left. Columbus presses in the final minute. It's 2-0 for Columbus after 1. So we go to the second period. 2 minutes and 50 seconds in, Cartier turns and buries one 5-hole from the doorstep. Burakovsky and Gord with the assist. And then it's the Seattle game from here. Monahan has a near miss on a net drive. The shots are 2-0 Seattle 5 minutes in. Bjorkstrand has a chance that's defended by Fabro. The Kraken press at 6 minutes, and then at 7:13, Brandon Tanev goes on his own, and he wires one far side from the left circle. And this is where I felt like Merzlikins tonight didn't have a great game, and so there's definitely got to be, I would think, some concern if you're a Columbus fan tonight that things are trending in the wrong direction in a lot of ways with Columbus. Kraken get a power play, and 6 seconds in, they score on it. Tolvanen ties the game on the power play from Eberle and McCann at 7 minutes and 22 seconds. That's McCann's 200th point as a member of the Seattle Kraken. He's the first Seattle Kraken player to reach 200 points as a member of Seattle. Kraken press for another at 9.5 minutes. Columbus then presses the next shift. They get some chances, but the shots are 12-6 for Seattle with 7 minutes left. And at 13:34, from a distance on a rush, Will Borgen gets his first of the season. Bjorkstrand and Schwartz with the assists, and I really thought Merzlikins probably should have had that one. And I say that as somebody that's never taken a shot from an NHL player. I know they're like 75, 80 plus miles an hour, and if I was in the net, it would put me into the net if I tried to save it. I'm just saying that from an NHL perspective, that's the kind that you want to see Elvis make the save on. Burakovsky nearly adds another. Then we have too many Kraken on the ice. They had 7. So as guys are coming over to the bench, 2 guys jump on, and you can't get away with that. Even if it's right next to the bench, you can't. So 7 guys on the ice is too many. But then it becomes 4-on-4, and everything gets killed off there. So after 2 periods of play, it's 4-2 for Seattle. Third period, shots are 2-0 Columbus at 2 minutes. Basically, depending on which end of the ice you sat on for the Seattle game, you saw all the shots or none of them. Kraken press at 2.5 minutes. We get a power play for Seattle. That's killed off. Marchenko has a net drive. That's defended. The Kraken press at 6 minutes. The shots are 6-1 Columbus at 7 minutes. Burakovsky has a wrister that's held. Columbus has a 2-on-1 that's broken up nicely by Alexiak. The goalie pull happens with 1:45 left, and at 18:42, McCann gets his 201st point as a member of the Kraken. Eberle with the assist, and so Seattle wins 5-2. They go to 7-8-1 with a much-needed victory. Columbus drops to 5-8-2. They're going to be glad this road trip's over. Shots on net: 18-6 Columbus in the first, 20-7 Seattle in the second, 14-7 Columbus in the third. Final shots 40-33 for Columbus. But let's math this up. 38, that's 52 shots at one end of the ice and 21 shots at the other end of the ice. So again, depending on which end you were sitting at, if you're at center ice, you don't notice, but I would think you'd notice if you're sitting at the end that's not seeing shots. Shots on net, and then the power plays. Columbus 0 for 1, Seattle 1 for 3. The hits 24-14 Columbus. Merzlikins saves 28 out of 32. Decord saves 38 out of 40. So there you go. We're all caught up on a Tuesday night of hockey. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. We do have 5 games tomorrow, 10 games on Thursday. That preview, of course, will be going up in the morning, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.